Howdy SEO Moz fans, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Friday. This is actually Thanksgiving Friday in the United States, so I hope you had a wonderful Turkey Day with your families. And for those of you in other countries, turkey's not the most delicious of birds, but we enjoy it. You know, it's good. We get a little cranberry sauce, you get a little yams, and some sweet potatoes. It's great. It's lots of fun. And of course, there's football, which is my favorite part. All right, so in this edition of Whiteboard Friday, since it is indeed the giving of thanks, we're talking about getting thanks from your users, from whom they're getting great email content by getting links from them, right? So email marketing, email list building is actually a phenomenal way to get links, and it's not something that many people in the SEO world think about, but we've got a bunch of different strategies. So first thing I want to talk about is building an email list itself. There's tons and tons of tips on this out there on the web, so I don't want to pretend that I'm an expert, but what I will say is that having a subscription to an email list on a website, particularly if you're a content-based site or an e-commerce-based site, is absolutely huge. Even for those of you doing sort of B2B direct marketing or doing affiliate sales of some kind, email list building is a wonderful way to capture consumers, capture potential customers, bring them into your ecosystem. And those email addresses are incredibly valuable if you can build up a good relationship over time. But a few recommendations. So you've often got something on the side of your website that lets people subscribe with email. Blow it up, it looks like this. You know, you've got your name, you've got your email, you have a subscribe button. That's great. What I would really recommend is ask for very, very little in these boxes. If you have a subscription that pops over, please ask for as little as possible, but do me one favor, ask for the name. The reason the name's so important is because in email marketing and list building, as email marketers know, getting the open rate up is critical. Getting people to click on that email, open it up, and click through. And having their name means that you can do much more with personalization of those emails. Not having their name means it's very frustrating. It's hard to write that first intro, sentence, paragraph, whatever, if you don't have their name. And it's often hard to get them to click through as well. I'm sure all of you get email spam like this that says, "Hi, blogger from so-and-so. Hi, dear Rand at SEO Moz." I'm sort of like, yeah, you have no idea who I am and you couldn't care less. You're just trying to get me to take some action. But if it says, "Hey there, Rand," or, you know, "Rand, we've got something you might like," that's going to get an open. It's much more likely it can be customized, etc. Make sure that you have something of great value that you're delivering over email, and then make sure that you're not just promising it, but you're actually delivering on that promise. Indicate the frequency that you're going to have. So in here, I might say something like, you know, once per week. Right? So you'll get a weekly email, or you'll get a daily email, or you'll get a monthly email. Don't be coy about how often you're going to send it, and try not to be too out of cycle with those emails. It's really that kind of thing. You know, I get a weekly email, and then suddenly I get two in 2 days, and I think it's time to unsubscribe from this list. Try not to do that. Also, watch and manage your inactives very, very carefully. If you see people who consistently have never clicked, never opened, never taken any action, you might actually want to remove them from your email list. I know that sounds crazy because you're thinking, wait, but I want a bigger email list and I want to grow it over time. I know. I want that too, but the problem is that email management services, so a MailChimp, for example, a Bronto, which is what we use here at SEO Moz, they monitor very closely that usage rate, and a lot of those people who aren't taking any action but haven't unsubscribed are reporting you for spam. They're clicking that spam button in Gmail, they're clicking the report spam button in Hotmail, they're clicking the spam button in Outlook, and that's a huge problem because the percentage of people who report you for spam is a metric that those providers use to determine deliverability rates. They might actually kick you off their service, you're going to have worse deliverability problems over the long run, so try and weed those people out. And anyone who you think might not be engaged or active or interested anymore, you've changed the focus of your business or of your email list, get them out of that funnel so you're not clouding up and murkying the waters. Spam is a big, big problem in email deliverability, and you don't want to end up in that group. And finally, last but not least on the tips here, A/B and multivariate test how this piece performs. So what you want to be trying different things, different headline, a different way of capturing it, different form placement, using the overlay, using something where they only see it when they scroll to the bottom, whatever it is, so that you can get the maximum % of people who are visiting your pages taking that email action, particularly if email is a big way that you drive your business. So now, you've done all these things, you've built an extraordinary list, I'm very proud of you, your marketing team loves you, and now you're thinking, I want to leverage this for some SEO. I want some links. Give me some links, baby. I'm going to give you some links. So there's some link building tactics that you can use that are going to help, that are going to drive value back to your site. Maybe some of them direct links, good anchor text pointing to the right pages. Some of them brand links that are just pointing to your homepage. Some of them random distribution. And some of them, of course, are going to be social shares, which might not be counted as links, might have some impact on rankings. We're not really sure. Probably has a second order effect at worst. I'll talk about the first one here. Share embeddable content. So you're very aware of the power of things like badges and infographics or tools, what have you, stuff that can sit on someone else's site and point back to you. Share that stuff over your email list, right? If you have a great badge for people and you want to say, hey, you've contributed as a design to our site. You've been a member here for a year now. You've filled out your profile completely. You've bought 3 things from us. Like here's a way to say that you like our brand. Here's something to encourage you. And the people who are passionate about your brand and about your community, they're going to embed those things on their sites. Wonderful. Just great for your SEO. And of course, you get to control the anchor text and where that points. Another great thing. Grab the domain. This is sounds a little complicated, but is totally brilliant. So you've got this big list, right? And the list looks something like here's a email at domain.com. And this, domain.com, is an absolutely incredible piece of information that so many people underappreciate. Domain.com is often Gmail, it's often Hotmail. Scrub those, you don't care about those. What you care about are, what about all the rest of those domains? Those are all websites where people from those sites, particularly if you're in the B2B field or serving B2B type customers, where these people own those sites, are marketers on those sites, are involved with those sites somehow, and you can reach out to them by filtering, right, the domain names you care about, using something like the Linkscape API or the Majestic SEO API if you want to get fancy, and seeing, hey, do these sites already link to me? And then ordering by, oh, you know what, I'm going to take these domain names, and in Excel, I'm going to order by domain authority, and I'm going to grab the ones that are highest domain authority that aren't linking to me, where I think I've got a chance of outreach. And by the way, I can do that outreach directly because I know somebody there. Somebody there has subscribed to my email list, so they care about my business. That makes that outreach, those business development possibilities, much, much more accessible. And for those of you who are looking for where should I do email outreach, where's an easy target, this, come on, what, you can't get any easier. It's wonderful. Okay. Number 3, encourage your users through email, particularly if you have something like a profile that they're creating on the site or a user page. Encourage them to fill those out completely. And the reason that I love filling them out completely is because when people invest effort in them, they will often link to them. If you provide any value back on those profile pages to the people who are creating stuff on there, whether it's this is your design portfolio, here's your Amazon wish list, here's the things that you've customized on the site so far, whatever it is that you've done, you want those users to fill out the profiles because they'll have a strong potential to link to their profiles. And once they do, you get SEO value from that rising tide lifting all ships phenomenon. Next one, consider sending some individual emails to the users who get activity and engagement on your site. The simplest form of this is blog comments. Someone subscribed to something or subscribe to your email list, they accept email privileges when they register with your site. Someone replied to their comment. Someone mentioned them somewhere. They received an action on their page. 100 people visited their profile page. 100 people checked out a product they customized. 100 people looked at their wish list. Right? Imagine if you're ThinkGeek and you get, hey, someone looked at your ThinkGeek wish list today. Just a little friendly notification. This is a way to bring people back to their site and for them to think, oh yeah, I wish more people did this. I wish more people engaged with me on the site. I'm going to re-engage. Again, not necessarily leading to direct links, but in some cases it will. Just 3 more good ideas for you here. When you capture the email address, if possible, right, in this box here, you don't ask for location necessarily. You might later in a profile setup or completion step, you might get it through a credit card. But you can also get it through their IP address. So when you capture an email address, capture that IP and geotag it so that you know where those users are. The reason is when I go and visit, Kansas City, I can say, hey, SEO Mozzers who are in Kansas City, shoot them an email let's tell them I'm going to be at this, we're going to do a Mozcation there, we're going to do an event there, I'm going to be speaking at an event there. It's a fantastic way to bring people from your community who already care about you back into the fold. And events are just a great, great way to earn natural links back to yourself because you build relationships, people see you and they just naturally link to you. You are engaging with them, you're contributing. Even if they can't make it to the event, sometimes you're going to get a link by them sharing it and saying, hey, by the way, so-and-so is coming to this. They'll put it on their blog, they'll link to it on a forum, they'll put it on their about page, whatever it is. They tweet about it. Great, just a terrific way to interact and engage. Another second thing, this might be my favorite one on here. When you do this, right, when you go and you filter and you grab the domain name of all the people that you care about and you've got that sort of ordered, then go find those people's Twitter accounts, their blogs, their websites, and go engage with them socially. I promise you, if you are naturally positively engaging on Twitter, in blog comments, on their Facebook brand page, on their Google Plus page, whatever it is, they're going to figure out who you are, remember you. They've already signed up for your email list, so they have a positive association with you and like what you do. You're going to earn a link sooner or later. Might be a month, might be 6 months, might be a year, but you're going to get that link through engagement. And this is a wonderful way to just build your presence in raw inbound marketing, never mind just pure SEO. And then finally, Aaron Wheeler from the Moz team had this great idea to insert in your RSS feed, especially if you're running an RSS feed that's not powered by advertising but is content driven, insert ads, right? You know how you've got an RSS feed, it looks something like this, and here's a piece of content, and then sometimes there'll be a little block of advertising if it's a paid RSS feed and they want to sponsor it. Instead of advertising for a third party, encourage your own advertising, right? Encourage sharing of content. So if you have a special piece of content in the RSS feed, you might say, hey, we'd really appreciate your help spreading this out over the web. We think this is, we're doing a subscription drive with a nonprofit. We're having an event somewhere. We are promoting a new service that we've got. We have this new infographic that collects a bunch of data that we think a lot of people love. Help us share it. Don't do it on every post or it'll be ignored. Do it on every 7 posts, every 20 posts. Then you'll get attention and intrigue because people who are subscribing to RSS via their email and getting those posts in the email will see that little ad block and go, oh, yeah, maybe I should share that. That seems useful and interesting. All right, so you can see the wonderful power of collecting email addresses, building a great list, obviously for email marketing, but also getting some value back for SEO through the links that you can drive. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Whiteboard Friday. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you again next week for another edition of Whiteboard Friday. Take care.